Hello, how you doing out there? We are Street News Now, Six Guys and You. You're connected to this station. We is a station because we're growing things here, right here on Street News Now. Make sure you subscribe, like, and share. We go to our YouTube channel. Make sure you type in SNN, Six Guys and You. We do this every Thursday evening at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, and 6 p.m. Pacific time. I nickname ourselves the Masters of Intellectual Disaster. One of our cohorts, Buck Wheezy, or Buck Wild, they call himself, he is celebrating his 15th birthday. So he won't be here today because he's grounded, as our fearless leader would say, like a child on punishment. So he ain't going nowhere. It's illegal for him to drink. So he's probably at home drinking Jackson of Daniels at this point. So we wish happy birthday. We bring forth the fearless leader himself, Lee Michaels. Lee, Road Dog Michaels. Lee, how you doing?
I'm rocking, jocking, and finger popping. How you doing?
Man, I'm good. I'm good. How's everything on your end, sir?
Good, man. I'm alive. I'm here, and I'm blessed and highly favored.
That's all right there. Also, bring forth one. I'm sorry. Go. Please continue. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead. I'll come back with my funny.
Okay, with your funny. Okay. And here is Dr. Ron Ford. What's up, brother?
Top of the evening to you, brothers. Top of the evening to you.
How's everything?
Yeah. I'm glad to be here, because, people are not here, but I'm glad to be here.
Amen.
That sounds very interesting.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, probably on your end is probably a sigh of relief.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, because you got people on the other side of the pond ain't here no more. We got people that's on this side of the pond that just MIA, all of those things. But I'm glad to be here.
Well, nothing wrong with that, and kudos to everybody here, and to you too, and also of course Mr. Mike Love.
I surely is glad you's here, Ron. Surely is glad.
Thank you, sir.
Yes,
I'm glad you're glad.
I'm double glad now.
Glad. I'm glad you're glad. I'm glad you're glad.
Thank you so much.
If we keep up the glad, we're gonna have to get a sponsor from Glad.
Or just get some Glad bags and put over our heads. And I ain't talking about the ones on our shoulders.
I know that's right. Yeah.
Oh, helps. Let's go and get started. Let's start, of course, with our fearless leader, Lee Michaels. Lee, go ahead. The floor is yours.
Oh, he froze.
He froze up. Good. Because you know what? He was getting ready to start some old Trump shit. And so I had prayed. I was like, dear Lord, help freeze up Lee Michaels if he even think about Donald Trump.
You gonna pray to God that Lee would get froze up?
I prayed that he get froze up.
Am I froze up?
You froze up. It answered. God answered prayers. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus.
I can see me.
Yeah, you moving now.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I wasn't going to say anything about Trump, but now that you mentioned him, the hell with it. I was going to lead with Hail, Hail, the Queen is dead.
Oh, my God. Yeah, go there.
Yeah.
She's been around all our life.
That's true. More than my life.
No other person sat on the throne in my 65 years of living. Yeah.
Well, she was there, what, 70, 75 years?
Yeah, 75. Like here's a toast. Here's a toast to the Queen. And I ain't talking about Latifah.
I ain't toasting her.
Or the Queen of Soul.
Yeah, or Aretha.
Yeah. I ain't toasting her. She ain't worthy of some good alcohol.
Come on, man. God don't like ugly, and he ain't too crazy about pretty.
Okay.
Don't do that. Don't hate on the Queen.
I'm just being realistic. Okay, since you brought it up, okay. 75.
Well, don't dive too deep.
75 years of reign. Okay, that she's been on the throne. Now, if you think back those 75 years that she has been in power and been influenced, how much dirt do you think, Great Britain is responsible for worldwide?
I honestly don't know.
Okay. Well, before she became the queen, Great Britain was responsible for the slave trade. They were responsible for going to places in the world and claiming them as their own when there had been inhabitants there all the time.
This was before she was queen.
Yes, right.
Okay.
And while she was queen, she knew of all of these injustices, but yet she didn't try to do too much to straighten things out in her day and era of being, the queen. I can speak of, like the British West Indies. She claimed islands for Britain, and the Bahamas didn't get their independence from Great Britain until 1973. That was definitely on her watch. And there were other countries that suffered injustices at the hands of Great Britain as well. So the fact that she's not here anymore, maybe we can get somebody to straighten out some of this mess that Great Britain, allowed to continue to be, in existence, because you're gonna have a fresh person in the office now that maybe they can do some other things, like South Africa suffered because of Great Britain. Go ahead. I know, Mike. I see your mouth twisting.
Hold on, before you get to Mike real quick, I want to, of course, bring in our brother, Professor Reggie Miles. So, Professor, how you doing?
Wonderful. Thank you for having me. Good to see you guys. Hello, Lee, and hello, Dr. Ron, and Mike Love.
Good evening,
Professor.
Sir.
And
Good evening,
Chris
sir.
Bates.
Good evening, sir. Yes.
Okay, back to Mike. Mike's going to say something.
You're on?
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I beg your pardon?
I said, is that a new microphone?
Yes, this is the 320.
We should have known. He was too damn polite. He was way too damn polite. I knew it was something. That was the ultimate setup, Lee, and you slipped right into it.
I did. My ears are very sensitive to microphones.
Absolutely. This is the Chris Bates special, the
He working it too. It looked just like Chris too.
EV320, and I'm up on it like Mike Greenberg, and I could just go ahead on the rap.
Yeah, that was smooth. Even in the introduction, man. Hello, how you doing, gentlemen? It's good to be here.
Oh, he working it too.
I'll be here all
Working
night.
that microphone.
He went Barry White on us.
Yeah, he did.
And I had all intention to be here, on time, but I was like setting up because I got I've started conversations, and so I was going through a pre-show with my guests and all this other kind of stuff. And it's just working out now. I could just look in the camera and say, "What's up?"
Jed said your new name is Silky.
Yeah.
There it is.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So it's wonderful, and so I gotta get my ducks in the pond so I can catch up with Lee and you, Mike, and get that roadcaster.
Oh, I got the little old just roadcaster thing here. This ain't,
y'all been changing mics, man, but I gotta get that roadcaster too, so I can put that reverb on me, and really take it up, because Lee been messing around, teasing us with that reverb, and I'm mad, I'm like,
it sounds good too, don't it?
Yeah, it sound real good. Make me want to. Do I need to pull out an old analog? I said, no, I might have been induce some hum into the system. So
I don't know where, I don't even understand how that's a compliment. That's an AM radio mindset. So I'm just really trying to, I get it, but I don't see that.
Stop hating. You know you like that shit.
I do.
You grew up on WLS.
I did. 89 WLS.
Mm-hmm. You can hear it for a long way. When soon as that sun went down, Jack, if you was down south, you could get it.
That's where the original term clear channel came from.
Oh, my man. That's right.
I
can see that.
I was on the beach in Miami and heard WLS and WCFL.
Wow. Yeah, they were both 50. They both 50 Ks, right? 50
Mhm.
kilowatts.
Yeah,
That's right.
flamethrowers.
I grew up on it in Virginia, Norfolk.
Mm.
Now let me bring you
driving
back
up and down the highway.
into St.
St.
Louis
Louis.
a little bit. Now we had one too, but ours was conservative, which was KMOX 11,
KMOX. Mhm.
and it could be heard in 23 states.
Mm.
And wasn't nothing to play with, but it was talk. So it had no pizzazz.
Not to us music DJs.
Say that again.
Not to us music DJs. But
Not at all. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. Just they were basically hitting up, people who just wanted to hear news at 8 or 9 o'clock at night, and I don't know why, but that was it.
The cool thing about broadcasting talk at that time when I was there doing night radio was that you had, like Lee said, like you said, Mike, different cities calling in to a Chicago show. I remember getting calls from, like I said, Miami, Philadelphia, as far as Phoenix, Arizona at one point. So they covered the map before it being Clear Channel. It was like doing a national show locally. That's what made it so cool. So those days, man, were fantastic.
Yeah, and St. Louis Cardinals baseball games, that's what basically helped them throughout the Midwest, being broadcast on there, and phenomenal broadcast. And you guys ended up hearing Harry Carey and stole him, and that's how he got to Chicago.
Holy cow!
Way back.
It's gone.
I like Carey, but Brickhouse gonna always be my man.
Oh yeah, hey.
Brickhouse didn't sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" like Harry Carey.
Yeah, but that was only because Harry was drunk half of the time. Give me a one.
He was that kind of high that everybody wanted.
Ooh, boy, because
he had a high that everybody wanted.
I mean, because by the time the seventh inning came, especially when the Cubs was in a losing season, man, he was fumbling words and everything, man. Shoot.
But I mean, coming out of the St. Louis broadcast, I mean, sponsored by Anheuser-Busch, they owned the Redbirds at that time. I mean, come on, dude. They turned him into an alcoholic.
Right.
He was putting his mouth up under the tap. He didn't even have a cup. He just go up to the thing and just.
I mean, you talk about someone like a lifetime supply of Budweiser beer, man. And by like Reggie was saying, like 7th inning stretch, he'll get out there. All right, well, let me hear you. One. He couldn't even finish the count. 2. Me out to the ball. I mean, it was, man, we look forward to that.
Leaning over. I thought he was going to fall out the box.
No, he was straight up drunk.
Everybody.
It's 1, 2. You're out at the old. Hey! I mean, oh man, we love that, man.
That dude was. I mean, that's and being drunk was fashionable with that dude, boy.
Yeah.
Up to the plate right now is Sammy Sosa. I'm like, that's not Sammy. That's somebody else.
Everybody's dark, and that's all I know.
Sammy
Soda is at the place.
Let me tell you, I don't know if it's black Sammy or white Sammy. I don't know.
Sammy Sausage is at the plate, ladies and gentlemen.
But isn't that one of the fun parts of going to a baseball game, getting drunk?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, eating a hot dog and getting drunk, and you're outdoors.
Because the sport itself is so boring.
Yeah, and you're outdoors.
Yeah, I had an uncle that used to like to watch baseball so he can get a good nap.
Wow. That's incredible. My grandfather used to listen to the, because I'm a big crybaby, Ron.
Uh-oh.
It's on tap.
All right.
He got a cigarette. He got a cigarette. And he's listening to the ball game on a tabletop radio.
Okay.
I mean, when you think about it, I mean, that's classic. I mean, this is when you picture yourself at the game. He's taking everybody out, and he's got the cigarette, and Harry Carey and Jack Buck are wearing him out. Okay, he ain't got a chance.
Yeah. For those that don't know, that's like a transistor radio.
Yeah,
you know?
just sit on
That's
the table.
going way back.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know. Or did he have one with the tubes in it?
No, he had the it was like you said, it was just a bigger transistor, you know. It was like the size of a loaf of bread.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I remember those were the portable radios, you know.
Yeah.
With the steel antenna, you know.
Yeah, you pull the antenna up in the back.
Yeah,
you sit on the porch.
Took
you
about
could sit
10D batteries in the back, you know.
Yeah.
And that was before the boombox now, because they had something that came out.
We weren't even thinking about that. It was and he could sit there and I mean lean like this, cigarette in hand, into it. I mean, he's there. He's transformed himself into the stadium.
Oh man, that's deep there. Yep, that's deep there.
Yeah,
like
man.
I said,
streaming ain't got nothing on that. Nothing.
Yeah. My uncle would be sitting there watching on the littlest TV in the world, you know, sleep. You know, because he didn't have big color TV, he had little color TV. I mean, little black and white TV,
right?
And sleep. I said, "You watching the game?" Yeah. No, he lying.
Out. He could hear, but he wasn't watching it.
Yep, absolutely. So Mike, you gonna make your comment in rebuttal to what I said about the Queen?
Well, you know, the thing of it is, you know, she had the ultimate power.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but I believe at the same time, it was all about etiquette. I think what we got from Queen Elizabeth was etiquette, how to present yourself as a queen. I mean, think about it. How many other queens? Now, there were queens in Africa and probably queens in other places, but no, there was no other queen bigger than Queen Elizabeth. She was the biggest. And I mean, think about it. Like I said, for a lifetime, I'm 65 years old. There's been no other. There was no king. So we've from Europe, we've never seen a king even represent. And Charles, I mean, I don't even know I don't have a clue what to expect from him, because first of all, he's boring. And most people couldn't figure out what Princess Diana even saw in him outside of money and the opportunity. And I don't think she was a gold digger, because she wasn't messing with no broke. Okay, sorry.
Broke.
What? What?
I almost misspoke about King Charles, because he King Charles now.
Is it king?
It's passed on automatically, isn't it?
Yeah.
What? I don't know how the title goes.
Yeah, he's
I'm not hearing myself.
Yeah, what? he's automatically tied in. What'd you say? What? Yeah, so he's the king. He's the king now. Yeah. And they thanking everybody that the other one, what's the little brother's name? He didn't get it because he went out and got him a sister. What?
You talking about Harry?
Harry, yeah. Okay, Lee.
That's me. Hold on, I gotta kill my phone. My bad, guys.
Yeah, and it's a horrible bad. As a matter of fact, my steak is ready and the oven is ringing.
Oh God, here we go.
And you sitting here playing Lost in Space with a national syndicated program. How the hell we gonna have a national syndicated program and you playing Lost in Space with your phone?
Lost in Space.
All right. Okay, hold on. Let me close this out.
The robot gonna come in.
Goddamn Danger Will Robinson.
Come in and say,
Danger Will Robinson.
Danger Lee Michaels. Danger Lee Michaels.
Oh, that was good. Oh, help.
Well, while we're waiting on Lee, did I get a chance to do the Street News Now People Poll question last week? I don't think I did.
I don't think you did, no.
So we'd like to get some comments. And the question is, will Black Americans ever have a chance at being the dominant race in America again? And I want to start with the presidency. Will we see another Black president anytime soon?
Not in my lifetime.
Lee, we can't use you. You're already 80.
Well, that's why I said it, in my lifetime.
Okay. All right. So you saying in less than 5 years?
Probably.
Okay. And I don't want nothing to happen to you, so I wasn't coming out with no.
You wishing bad on me, man.
I do not. Ron, he's trying to make me cry.
Again.
Shut up. I can cry over Lee Michaels every day if I want to.
Look, again, you gotta add. You gotta add that word again on there.
Okay, let's get back to it. I don't even know outside of Kamala Harris, we don't have anybody in the pitcher's bullpen. Who could be the next African American president of the United States of America if we had to call one today? Outside of Kamala Harris inheriting it. Go ahead, Professor.
Jesus.
Well, yeah, because he had the hair and the dark skin, even though that's not what they show on your grandmama's picture hanging on a wall, or in most, the missionaries went over there showing a white man was Jesus.
I mean, politically, there might be somebody that may be qualified to handle that or to carry that mantle. But in order for Black people to see that again, this particular candidate has to have some type of, it got to be like a messiah. It's got to be like a messiah, because that'll rally us. And I think that'll get us together. But this next Black candidate is going to have to be, he's going to have to be palatable to white women. Okay. That's the Obama formula on how President Obama got elected. That's the only way that it's going to go through. And then immediately, if that does happen again, right, the country is going to fall right back into this 45 thing, because it was because of the first, African American being elected, then that woke up the what is it, the sleeping white majority or whatever. Yeah. And they went, the Make America Great Again, right? And that silent white majority, I guess whatever they were called at that time, they banded together and they said, well, no, we can't let this happen no more. And they got into their thing. But the next black candidate is going to have he's going to have both. He's going to be acceptable to all the Americans that are here.
Okay, Kanye West.
Oh, well, yeah, right. Yeah.
I'm joking.
Yeah, I know, cause and then his running mate is gonna be Herschel.
Yeah.
But
right.
But what's interesting, the parallel, see, you're right, Professor. I think whoever's going to come up next, a person of color running for the presidency, has to use the Barack Obama playbook. The connection that Barack Obama had to the late, great Chicago Mayor Harold Washington, what they both have in common is David Axelrod. David Axelrod was the strategist behind Harold Washington when he ran for the mayoralship in Chicago. And then when Barack Obama ran for the presidency, once again, David Axelrod was the political strategist. So you need someone who knows the lay of the land, who knows the terrains, that can work it and make sure that you're able to, of course, stomp and go to these various cities and states and other places where you're able to get the likability factor of the majority of the people in this country. And so if you look at it from a local perspective, Harold Washington did it with all 50 wards. On a national level, look what Barack Obama did on a national platform. So David Axelrod was the linchpin for both these men to achieve success in their respective political offices. Now, whoever's going to run next for the presidency needs a David Axelrod-like person, he or she, to be the strategist to work side by side with that candidate.
That makes sense. You know, you got to have a good strategist in the background.
Mm-hmm.
And without that, if you don't have a clear path to, you're not going to. Simple.
Right.
Yeah, I think whoever a possible black candidate could be, or African American person of color would have to be someone who does not frighten the Europeans.
Well, I think that's with anybody, any candidate.
So that would take somebody like Stacey Abrams out of the game. Because she frightens people too much. You know, it would take many people that are coming up through the Democratic Party that are very vocal and very forceful speaking. You know, that's going to frighten too many people, especially in the South.
Yeah,
you know, people in the South, they're not like, oh no, we can't do that.
But gotta have some kind of, it's got to be some kind of wind behind the sails, though, Dr. Ron. Because I don't think no regular brother or sister gonna make it. They're gonna have to have a Messiah tag on them, because we got some really great people, that's out there, politicians right now, but they not messiahs. Because for one thing,
well, the guy that won the Senate in Georgia, he's close to Jesus.
Oh, you talking about Warnock?
Yeah.
Oh, well, come on now. Wait a minute now. I mean, that's cool too. But you know how our people are, right? Man, I ain't voting for that black. I ain't voting for that blank.
Why did he win in Georgia?
He ain't nothing but a sellout. You know how we are. And when it came down to Barack, President Obama, Mr. Obama, man, it wasn't whether you liked him or not or whatever. You go, you're first black president. I got to vote. I got to. He was crippled. You had one leg. You had a car with three wheels on it. You was going to go for him.
It's not funny, but you're absolutely right. There were people that were in their 60s and 70s that had never voted before.
Right. So the thing about us and the politics, there's no because we should have had a whole lot more political power, but we too busy playing politics with ourselves as opposed to going after voting and doing things in our best interests.
But wait a minute, guys. Was it? I think it was his message, Obama's message, that got him.
Oh, come on now, Lee. I'm with that too.
He was talking about hope.
Well,
he gave people hope.
Yeah, I'm cool with that, but that's easily transferable. When a cat got that Messiah thing in behind him. Nobody cared about they don't care about what Mr. Obama did. They didn't really care.
They did. Sure.
Now, what do you mean? Wait a minute. Hold on, Professor. What do you mean they didn't care?
Nobody cared. No, listen. All right, now because
you talking about like if he went to a strip club or something?
Right. No, I ain't talking about that. No, see,
that was his Secret Service agents that went to the strip club. He was not with them when they went.
Yeah. Well, okay, I'm gonna get radical, right? But I'm not gonna get radical. Because most of the presidents, right? The Clintons made sure that the Park districts, in Arkansas was straight. Because if you go to Arkansas, you're going to see Little Rock Central. And Mr. Clinton made sure that Arkansas had plenty of money and stuff to keep that stuff sustained. Okay? And and this is a joke, but I'm going to say it anyway. You ain't never got to worry about no peanuts in Georgia. Jimmy Carter took care of that. I'm trying to think about what did Barack Obama lead the state of Illinois?
I think he was bigger than the state of Illinois.
No, he's supposed to leave us something. If Bill Clinton...
Bringing you a museum.
Right.
That's what we're going to get? All right.
You're getting a presidential library.
And then he also, on his way out of office, he actually sent billions of dollars to rebuild the infrastructure of the transit system on the south side of Chicago. And then he also, and he also, in his last year, he dropped millions of dollars for the Pullman district and the museum that they have that's over there even now.
You're talking about Pullman Porters?
Yep.
Okay. I believe that Barack Obama, his swagger alone, was a testament to what we need to present to America coming from an African-American community. We consistently are putting ourselves in situations because we have no other way to get in or to be seen, to be locked into crime stories, illegitimacy, and a host of other things that the European community can say, see, that's what you're going to get if you elect this kind of person to get into the White House. What we should have done from the moment that we sent our brethren Barack Obama off was to start the process of building the next African-American president. I was going to say the next Barack Obama, but they don't have to be the next Barack Obama. It needs to be the next African-American president. When we get to the point that the Democratic Party, and I'm not saying we because I'm liberal, I'm saying we as a people get to the point that we damn near take, how old is President Biden? 75, 80?
No, he's not 80. 76.
Well, 77, something like that. 76, 77.
Yeah.
When we get to that point that that's all we have to offer, it says we're in trouble. And they don't have any problems with television and movies finding an African American to play these roles. And being the president of the United States is just as dangerous as any of those roles that I see us playing on television. Well, Professor, were you going to say something?
He's on the phone call.
Oh, okay. I just saw him raise his head. I didn't want to block what he was saying. Yeah, but I just really feel like the first point of contention is we're out marching and talking about Black Lives Matter, and that is true, but we are not taking care of the business at hand, and that's representation. See, when you let a European consistently be at the podium of representation of us as citizens of the United States of America, how can you oppose the fact that they feel they deserve it? You haven't done anything to stop it.
Say that again.
When you don't set up a situation where we have African Americans in a position to seize the opportunity of being the president of the United States, all we do is we're either some kind of crime fighter or a drug figure on television. But we haven't put ourselves in a situation to be a president. One of the best movies that Denzel Washington made was Training Day. They damn near, there's a channel called Sundance Channel, and every other weekend they play Training Day.
What reason? That's what.
Because they need, the reason is that they're doing it is they don't want the pressure of the community not saying that they're showing movies that star African Americans. So when they got to go out, they're saying, well, who's one of the most popular African American movie stars? Denzel Washington. Check first box. Well, actually, you can check 2 boxes, because after you do that, then you got Denzel, and then you got a black man, and now you can put it on every other week. Yeah. You can't find any other movies with African Americans in the starring role in it to put but Training Day.
Right. That's what got me cracking up, man.
I have a problem with that. I can't get rid of my reverb. Do you guys hear that?
Yeah, we hear.
Yeah,
man, you shot me in the blank.
Right.
And he got an Oscar for that.
Got an Oscar for that. Yeah.
King Kong ain't got nothing on me.
But he got the Oscar for saying, "Man, you done shot me in the blank."
Oh yeah, definitely.
But when you think about it, you show a movie like that because now you can justify the fact that here's Denzel Washington's finest hour. He got the Oscar for getting shot in the ass. So that's what happens. So these stereotypes, these situations that happens. Look at the body of work that Denzel obviously had before Training Day. You can go to Malcolm X in particular, Mo Better Blues. He had a body of work that was impeccable. But it wasn't until he did, of course, Training Day, Negativity, and everything else that got me Oscar. That same year, Halle Berry won for Monsters Ball. That same year for Best Actress. She got to get butt booty hole naked in that movie. And she, everything else. So again,
make me feel good.
Make me feel good. Right. That's right. Yeah, bend over. And then there you go. So that's what happened, unfortunately. So all these things we see, what's ironic too? That same night, Sidney Poitier was getting an honorary Oscar. That same night, you had 3 of the still the most black actors, period, in history of motion pictures, from Sidney Poitier to Denzel Washington to Halle Berry. And look at the shift that happened between Poitier to Washington to Berry. And that alone on stage showed you the direction that they were going. Back with Poitier was, of course, being a movie star. He wouldn't have done those roles. Right. He wouldn't tolerate doing those roles. Look what happened down the road when they had to do it. And not only that, get rewarded and get Oscars for them.
Right. And don't forget his legendary statement to his dad when he's in love with a white woman on television. You've got to get off of my back, man.
Yeah, that was classic.
That was classic.
Yes.
Or when they were moving to the new house, what was that movie where his mama got mad at him after he had taken the money and gambled it off?
Raising the Sun.
Raising in the Sun. I'm sorry. I mean, man, you talking about star power, dude. Yes. He Raising in the Sun.
Yes.
He brought it, man.
He did.
He brought it like nobody's business. Sydney wasn't nothing to play with.
Sydney was super.
They called me Mr. Tibbs.
They call me Mr. Tibbs. Lily's in the field.
Yes.
Where he's working for the nuns.
Mm-hmm.
This dude was consistent. That consistency is what needs to be in place in politics if we're trying to get another African-American elected president of the United States of America.
I'm a Baptist. I don't go to mass.
Right.
Hey, how you doing? Hey, listen here. That's Mike Love saying that. I'm not even in that. So don't even put me in that. Yeah. I mean, I ain't gonna try to tell him nothing. No, you ain't got to even worry about it. No, I ain't gonna say nothing. I mean, dude, let Mike go. You talk to Mike yourself, because I'm not gonna deal with that.
He must be talking to the white man.
Yeah, you know it.
You're talking to the white man, right?
You're talking to the white man. Okay.
No, I'm talking about DYT.
DYT.
Yeah, that's him. Same person. But when you think about it, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to figure out how the African Americans that are in the Democratic Party are not staging themselves for this. basically maybe even the same thing in the Republican Party, but they get the shit slapped out of them if they tried it in the Republican Party.
Hey, dude, you hear have you been hearing what's going on Street News Now? Yeah, they trying to make a movement, so we need to plant a mole in there to actually find out what them cats are doing. Who you got? Oh, you gonna send Chris Bass?
Okay.
Okay.
Chris.
No.
Oh,
No,
Chris,
no, leave Bass where he is. Call on Buck Wild. I think he can do the job. Get Buck Wild. He can
that's who you should have said in the first damn place.
Yeah, see, that's where you, man. Come on, dog. Come on, man. Come on. Professor, you owe Chris an apology.
Well, you know,
Mr. Bass. You know, that was Mr. Bass.
Don't worry about it, Doc.
No. That was a joke, but no, that was just to set up the joke. What the joke was, but I absolutely not, because I know if I had to respond, man, on the other end with the cop, man, we ain't getting no Bass. You know, that's how. That's how.
That. Nah, ain't nothing about Chris Bass that's snitchy.
Yeah, well, you understand. It's like, and then what about Reggie Miles? Now you send the devil himself before you send that dude.
Oh yeah, that dude right there. And you can say the same thing about him and Professor Ron.
Yeah.
Let me jump in here and ask.
But me, Ron, and Bass, no, man, you send the devil himself. Don't you send them three, because them cats, they'll all play the game, but then all of a sudden they'll be, we're gonna do this and then we're gonna do that. They'll be whispering in the dark on you, man.
In the dark, the hard way. Do you want to jump in? You want to say something real quick, Lee?
Yeah, I mean, what we've been through the Sidney Poitier and others during that era, and Denzel and many other black performers. But this is 2022, and you got to appeal to the younger generation some kind of way. It's, in my mind, it's difficult.
Oh, man, you ain't talking about asking Lil Wayne to do nothing.
No. That's going backwards as far as I'm concerned. So you got to
that's funny as hell.
It ain't funny, though. It really isn't. It's pathetic. And I'm trying to get rid of this damn echo. I don't know what I did. But
what mic are you on? What mic are you on, Lee? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I'm on the podcast.
Say it again. Hit it again.
I'm on the pod mic.
It show is thin, Lee. That mic show is thin.
Yeah, that ain't no WLS kind of sound there.
Yeah, it show is thin. What about your settings on the bass, man? What about your EQ settings? Because it sounds like below flat.
Yeah, it is, and I'm still hearing the reverb and echo, and I don't have it turned on.
What do you have your StreamYard set up?
Oh, wait a minute. You ain't got no pot up. You got an extra pot up, do you?
Nope.
Oh, what about your echo cancellation?
That's on. Anyway, I'll jump out and try to figure it out.
Come back in. All right.
Here's the thing I want to know. You guys are asking how we're going to get the next black president. And I think it's bigger than that. I think what we have to kind of focus in on is, what do we need to do to contribute to society to ensure that we are at the table on every level?
Well, that comes back, Lee. Let me just jump in. Okay, so the question is, will Black Americans ever have a chance at being the dominant race in America? The second part of the question is, who could be our next black president? But you're going in the right direction.
All right. I'm glad you said that, Mike Lee, and I don't mean to cut you off. You go ahead. You go, because I got something that's hot, that's burning.
No, go ahead.
Listen, if all politics are local, why are we worrying about the national?
Well, it starts at home. It starts at the kitchen table. Then your block, your neighborhood, your city, your county, your state. It is local. Everything is local. Anything that happens in D.C. affects you locally. Anything that happens you in your neighborhood also affects other people, in that state. So it's a domino effect. But it all starts at the bottom and works up, not at the top and work down. Reagan tried that. That didn't work.
Yeah,
Never have, and I don't think it ever will.
You know, when Base, maybe you can help me out with this here. When we and Ron, Dr. Ron, when we were like sending all these mayors, all these black mayors, when they were getting elected, I think part of all those, you know, the election of these black people on the local levels was part of the reason that they wanted to take control of the media, because most of the local African American politicians were using the media to get in there, and they saw that and say, "Hey, you can't let these people talk to themselves like that. They'll start getting involved in politics." You know, I don't think it's like we need to have a local base of strength wherever we go, you know, with what we doing first. I think we need to start in the cities, because let's check out Barack Obama, how he went. You know, he was a community organizer, right? Then he ran for the state senate, became a state senator and all that stuff. And he had a track record. So where would we suggest our young people to, you know, start up? First of all, we got to make sure we got to start grooming the kids or grooming the people into these politics when they're young. Send them to a good school, you know, keep them from rap music, you know, and keep them from all that stuff that'll get them in trouble. You know, because they put a lot of this stuff out here to get us in trouble. So we'll mess up so we can't run for president. Because you know they're going to find out what you did when you was 3 years old. Man, he threw up in church. He can't be the president. You know, some crazy stuff. You know, people, they're going to come at you with a fine tooth comb. So we really have to, you know, it really starts with how we got to groom the president when he's really young.
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go. You got it.
Let me jump in and say that's a great point. But when my suggestion, Professor, let me ask you a question. So the president normally is the head of that political party, Democrat or Republican. Is that correct?
I guess. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So we can basically say shit rolls downhill.
Okay.
So the reason that we're looking for that leadership, not that we want to ignore a local council person, an alderman, or a mayor in a specific town, but an image that we can put out there from a global perspective. That's what I'm addressing. I'm not in disagreement. Everything that you just said, I'm 100%. My dad was an alderman when I was growing up. So I understand the local political structure, but we don't have a national. Every time it's national time, it's Snoop Dogg doing Corona beer.
Yeah.
And that's where my concern is going, because becoming a dominant race means that you have to do dominant and progressive things. They keep feeding us these situations where we can entertain, but we can't be in a situation to politic and move people on a national basis. Because if you create a national movement, now it helps getting an African-American mayor in a specific city, or elected as an alderman or alderperson or a city council person. I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. You're right. It's no problem with starting from the bottom up, but right now all the attention is from the top down.
You know, and I agree with that. I agree with that 3 million%. But in checking out some of the stuff that's been going on in this country, you know, with us, and the way these organizations, the way the politicians play us, right? You got right now Republicans thinking about organizations to come in the Democratic community just to mess their heads up, right? You got, well, let me say it like this. The elite, people with money, they will start organizations to just disrupt whatever grassroots movement that's going on. What's ever happening on the grassroots level, we got to figure out where the money's coming, what's sustaining them. And we need to, if the masses, okay, just had an organization that's just put to the side where they gave $1 a week for 6 months. This is $1 a week, just $1, 4 quarters. We could start raising some hell with some stuff. But it takes that French girl, to fuel everything.
Can I jump in?
Yes, sir.
I hear everything that everybody's saying, and I think we're missing a very key point in the African American community. And the fact is that our opinion in our community of what politics is very distorted and very, corrupt. We're looking at a corrupt institution and a corrupt everything that we see is corrupt. And we elect the people into office locally or nationally that we think are going to do for the best interests of us, the people, or the community. And coming from a state where we've got, more criminally governors and aldermen, and, these are people that we thought were for us, and then they wind up doing criminal activity and wind up going to federal prison. Okay. So that we see before our very eyes how power corrupts. Okay. And former president, Barack Obama did not fall for the rope-a-dope, but we don't have people that can straighten out the bad PR of the political system.
How did Barack Obama get around it?
Well, Barack Obama was an anomaly, And
you think he's the only one on the planet?
You asked me a question, I'm giving you an answer. When Barack Obama first went to the Senate, they did not perceive that he was going to continue on to run for president. He was an anomaly. Okay. It was everything lined up perfectly, allowed things to happen. And he was very charismatic, and he burst out onto the scene, and then all the powers to be got behind him. And then no matter what crap the political system threw at him, he was able to withstand. Because if you remember correctly, Donald Trump came after him, like, I want to see his birth certificate. He ain't even an American. And he wrote that until he finally showed up one day, a birth certificate publicly. Then he shut up about that and went after something else. So he was always under attack being in that position. And I'm not saying that we can't raise up another Black person. Like, everybody feels like Kamala Harris would be a good candidate to achieve the office of president someday. But I don't think America, is ready for anything like that, when they won't even let women choose whether or not they should be able to have anything to do with their own body. So how they gonna let this woman achieve, the office of president?
Well, they don't know enough about her to rudely interrupt what you're saying, and I apologize. That's the problem with Kamala Harris. Nobody knows who the hell Kamala Harris is. And the people who do know her have dirt on her, with Willie Brown in California and other things that she's been involved with. She's married to a...
That's already been exposed.
Right, but I'm
Maybe
saying all that's going to be...
But it's been talked about.
It's going to be brought up again.
That's okay.
And there's going to be a division set up because she's married to an Anglo-Saxon. So the thing of it is...
Oh, well, that might help her.
And it will. That's what's helped up to this point.
Well,
Yeah,
yes and no.
no. Well.
Let me say this, guys. Don't you remember when they said there would never be a black man president?
Oh yeah,
And
absolutely.
Barack Obama rose to the occasion and changed that whole mindset.
Yep.
I'm optimistic that not only could we have another African American, a black person in the White House, I'm looking forward to the next, or maybe the one after that, being something else other than a white man.
Yeah, I'm. Now that you,
It
now
could
that
be
you laid out,
a Hispanic, it could be an Asian, it could be, an American Indian, for God's sakes. I mean, come on. Why not?
But then would that be fair to the
That's
black,
America.
to African Americans?
It ain't about fairness.
I know
If
it's
we
not.
wanna
I'm
talk
just
about
throwing that
fairness,
out
we
there
should-
to stir the pot.
Right. Well, we should have had an American Indian maybe as the first president.
No, we should have had another one lined up after Barack Obama.
Well, yeah, you're right. You're right. But
We got comfortable.
Well,
the
bullpen wasn't deep enough. The same thing in radio. There's nobody training and developing any new talent for radio. And the same thing in a lot of other industries. The bullpen was empty. That's part of the problem. Think about it.
I mean, I'm agreeing with all that stuff, but we cannot forget. And I think though that this will happen with Ms. Harris, with Kamala. She'll get that Messiah type movement that will galvanize black people. See, because we've seen the Messiah movement, on several occasions. Don't no black person just get elected because the black person is just the black. That we've never seen that. There has to be a move. There has to be a spiritual move too, to go along with any black person that has been elected anywhere. Okay, because there's a lot of black people, men right now that's overqualified. They qualified to run.
Stay with overqualified.
Yeah, I mean they can handle it, but
that's where I'm coming from.
And if they don't have that Messiah, if they don't have that Messiah thing in behind them, ain't nothing gonna happen.
Well, yeah, that's true.
And when the elite and when the people see that there is a Messiah coming, or if there is a Messiah amongst us, they're gonna do something about it. Because let me just give you this one example. They got one person that they perceived to be a Messiah, and he was only 21 years old.
Are you referring to Fred Hampton?
You know it, Bass. You know it. You know it, Bass. When you get somebody that's going to galvanize it, because, see, they can get plenty of us to play the game with them, but they never want to see a Messiah among us. Because if they do, they're going to do something to eliminate that. They're going to eliminate that person. We've seen it.
Oh, yeah. Well, that goes back to Malcolm X. Malcolm was so cold. You had the Nation of Islam, the New York Police Department, and the FBI coming after him to the point where all started to work together, the three of them, those three components. So when you have someone like, say, a Malcolm X, for example, and they're saying just by one man alone, at the time, I'm paraphrasing the information from the FBI reports, who can sway and change Negroes' thinking. That's one person. That's amazing. So, of course, you're dangerous. And, of course, it goes back to the autobiography of Malcolm X and portrayed in the movie when Brother Johnson got hit upside the head with the nightclub, and they go to the hospital, and all the FOI was out front. They go to Malcolm. He's going to be all right. The white sergeant said, all right, let's dispense this mob. Makes that one move, that one gesture. Everybody disperses. And the white cop said that's too much power for one man to have. And these things are documented. And so the Messiah complex goes across the board. You go back to any politician, whoever he or she get in office, go back to JFK, both the brothers, you go to Dr. King, you go to anybody who is able to move masses, to able to make people think just by spoken word alone, you're automatically dangerous.
Dangerous. Dangerous. And they got to wipe you out. From Garvey to Kwame Ture, you can go down the line. They're not, and I don't care what kind of party you in. You could be independent, Repcon, Demcom, you could be whatever, Whig, whatever party that there was. Whenever you can do something to galvanize the masses and you don't pick up the phone when they call you and you don't answer in the way that they want you to answer, I'm talking about the elite now, they're going to move you out the way. They're going to move you out the way.
I don't have a problem with galvanizing, and I apologize for interrupting, galvanizing the masses. What I see, my thing is we can never give up. It's like faith.
I agree.
That's where we're coming up short as a race. Now, we'll get in church and praise God till kingdom comes. But everything else we do, we keep coming up short. My praises will be in my mouth for him now and forevermore. What's that mean, Dr. Ron?
You're going to be praising God a long time.
Okay, thank you. And see, the key word to what he just said was a long time. How did the presidency of an African-American person be so short-formed? That whole 4 years, somebody should have been behind closed doors cooking up the next scheme. There is no way every time we're ready to elect a president of the United States of America, we don't have a black candidate. And I ain't talking about just Democrat. I'm talking about Democrat or Republican. That's where the question goes. Will black Americans ever have a chance at being the dominant race? That ain't even getting us to the presidency at this point. Where is our domination outside of crime and drugs and abuse, homelessness? See, we keep carrying a badge that we don't have to carry. But the fact of the matter is, the only time we seem to connect to what Professor and Dr. Ron just kind of brought to the table is when they in church. You got to live this life 24/7.
Amen.
Bishop Jake said you need to put your slippers way up under your bed so you have to get on your knees to get them.
I can dig it.
It's all about you as an individual.
There
we
you
all
go.
have to work on ourselves.
Woo! Preach.
And be prepared for the next step, wherever that leads you in your life.
Come on.
Whatever path you carve out. But it has to have wisdom, credibility, strength, and determination in order to make it. You've got to live it. You got to sleep it. You got to eat it. You got to want it really bad. And if you don't have those ingredients, you're not going to succeed. You might kind of make it, but you're not going to go over the top, and you won't have longevity. So there is no quick or one-word answer to your question tonight, Mike. But I encourage everyone, no matter who you are, where you come from, how rich or how poor, if you don't make a contribution to society in a positive way, shame on you. And how do you expect that you're going to be great at anything without hard work? You got to put some effort into it.
Yeah.
Everybody on the screen right now has put a lot of effort into where they are today. It didn't just by chance or you got lucky. Damn luck. Yeah, you got to have a little bit of that too. But once you get that lucky break, you got to grab that baton and run like a son of a gun. faster than you ever run before, and don't be selfish. And I close the show out with this. Reach back and give that baton to the person behind you that want to win, that's willing to run hard, run until you can't run no more, until your legs hurt. Have you guys watched any of these tennis matches? There was
Yes.
one last night that went 5 hours and 15 minutes, longest ever in the U.S. Open. Ain't no way in hell I could do that. And these boys played hard. And the 19-year-old was victorious. 19 years old. And there's been a lot of upsets, both in the male and female aspect of the U.S. Open. The number 1, the number 2, the number 3, the number 4, the number 5, they all got whipped, gone. It's the people that are like 11, 12, 13, number 22. Those are the guys that are rising to the top because they worked hard.
Hungry.
Want to win.
Ravenous dogs.
Yeah.
That's
Going
why
for
I
the
applaud
prize.
Dr. Ron, because he's worked a long time to get his balls hit.
Oh, there you go.
I was just about to drink some water, boy. I was getting ready to destroy
Well, you know what?
all my
You know what?
equipment in front of me.
That's why I love Mike Love, because that's a beautiful segue for Dr. Ron to do his topic.
Oh,
Yeah, he did.
That 5 hours ain't nothing.
No,
There's Dr. Ron.
Look, let me hurry up and bring this up. This is a follow-up to a conversation that we had on last week about the governor of Texas, Greg Abbott. You know, that guy. Yeah, that guy. I was curious to find out how many immigrants did he ship to other places outside of Texas, you know, with this new, you know, idea he's got. I'm going to send all these people to sanctuary cities. So I found some numbers. In total, more than 7,400 migrants have been bused to the nation's capital, and over 1,500 have been sent to New York City. Okay. And just as of last night, he has sent 300 migrants to Chicago. So
Didn't he send some to DC also?
He just said that.
The nation's capital, yeah.
Okay. What was that, 7,000?
7,400. Yep.
Yeah.
And that's just to date, and there's more coming. So he is getting those people and he's weaponizing them, like I said on last week. You know, there's people that are hurt. They don't know if they've been fed. They arrived in Chicago. They don't know if they were given any type of medical evaluations or anything.
He don't care.
You know, and he just put them on a bus.
Stop. Let me ask a question.
Uh-huh.
What other ports or immigration or immigrants coming into outside of the state of Texas?
There's California. There's Arizona.
Are they sending any out? They're taking. They're saying everybody.
Florida, New York.
Okay, but
Washington D.C. They're coming in from everywhere, man.
Okay,
Yeah.
but once again, we're only talking about one state.
That's absolutely right.
Okay,
because he's the only one that has been doing what he's been doing.
So we know that for a fact.
Yeah.
That no other governor in any of these other states that are border cities have sent any. They've taken in and they have the equal amount of immigrants at their borders.
Now that's not.
I don't know if it's equal amount.
Yeah,
well, that's what you need to find out before you make these kind of statements.
No. This is the person who has gone public.
Both of y'all can't say no at the same time. It's like an echo.
Well, it's true.
No.
L to the no.
Yeah.
No, listen. On the real, Mike, and it's a good question, but certainly the state of California borders Mexico, and there are people coming across that border often, if not every day, I'm sure. But we welcome those people that are trying to better themselves. We don't turn them away. You know, we enforce the law. We encourage them to come over the right way. But those who slip through, they're not criminalized and cast to the side. We bring them in. We go through the process. We examine them. We check them out, see if they're criminals or if they're just good people trying to better themselves. Then we put them on the right path to better themselves. What's the state of Texas, the governor of Texas doing wrong is he's not building up a good alliance with the Mexican people that are coming out, primarily the people from other countries coming.
I was going to say, it's not just Mexican people; it's people coming.
But just okay, for the most part, he's not building an alliance or any kind of camaraderie that maybe they'll vote for his dumb ass, you know, once they become citizens and their families. See, that's not how you build, you know, structure around you to give you longevity in politics. So I say I don't have a problem with people coming here. I'd like to see them come in the right way. They're coming here because they're desperate. They're not coming here for any other reason except trying to better themselves and do better for their kids and their family members.
I'd like to see a comparison or a comparative report. See, my thing is this, not in defense of Governor Abbott, but in the question of the news organizations. These organizations will sensationalize anything they possibly can to get you to look, see, or hear. And I'm not saying that he's not doing it, and I'm not agreeing with what he's doing is right. But I want to see a comparison study from every border state to see if there are any matchups at any level, because I believe there's some missing information. And we got more than just one governor in the continental United States that's doing some real awkward stuff. Because was hearing it coming out of Florida for a long time from Cuba, and then it just kind of dissipated.
Yeah, well, because they end up staying in Little Havana.
Well, some of them were turned back away, and they were on little rafts, and they didn't make it back. They drowned it. They did.
That's true, but there's a law that if you get your feet on the sands of the shores of the United States of America, you get to stay. If you're coming from Cuba, if you're coming from some other country in the Caribbean, not so much. The rule doesn't apply. It's called a wet foot. Yeah, right. Wet foot, dry foot is what it's called. It's a nickname for it. But if you make it to the shores in a boat from Cuba, you're safe.
Yeah, that's the whole thing that they had down in Florida. They weren't letting them even get to the shores.
Well, yeah. That was the only way they could stop them.
Yeah, they were stopping them.
Catch them out in the ocean.
I'm just asking for a comparison report.
And that's a good request, because I'll tell you this. Living in South Florida, I had a neighbor who was in this country illegally from Israel. And you would think maybe that shouldn't be so hard, right? There's a bunch of Israelis here illegally. They come over on a visa, or a vacation, or work visa, or whatever, and they don't go back. Same thing with Russians in South Florida. They own a lot of the condos right there on the ocean, and they're racist bastards. I witnessed it firsthand, trying to buy a condo. And they were Russian Jews, or at least that's what they said they were, because we came in on a holiday, apparently a holiday weekend, and they turned us away because they said it was a holiday. Now we made the request, set up the appointment 4 or 5 days in advance. My realtor was a white realtor, so when my wife and I got there in the lobby of this condominium, high rise, right on the ocean, they could see us on the camera, and it turned us away. So, yeah, there are people coming from all over the world, Poland, Israel, and all over, China, Japan, South Korea, and they get here and they don't go away. They stay. They live and they survive here.
Yeah.
The same kind of pressure is not put on them that we put on the people that are coming across our southern borders, which are primarily the majority of them happen to be Mexicans. And I think that's wrong. If you're going to have a law, it has to apply to everyone, whether they walk across the southern border or the Canadian border or come in on a boat, on a plane, however they get here, everybody ought to be treated the same.
You know, one of the pictures that I saw, and I don't remember if it was MSNBC or CNN, I didn't really see that many people who look like Mexicans. A lot of them look like West Indians.
Well, they probably went to Mexico on vacation and migrated through the border.
Yeah,
it was cheaper.
Well, that's what the whole problem
route.
is. The first time when Ron reported this, and I went right to CNN that night when we got off, and I saw the thing. I didn't see a lot of Mexicans. It seemed like there was a strong mixture of West Indians, and that's kind of what started buzzing my head a little bit, because I'm saying, well, what is it? He don't want them in Texas? You know, what's going on? Now, ironically, Texas has a lot more of a diverse population than people would ever imagine.
Yeah, that's true. African.
And that's one thing that, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Indians, Pakistanis,
Africans.
Yeah,
oh man, a lot of Africans, and more than they can even. I mean, when you drive Uber and Lyft, and Ron and Lee can attest to this. You know, you pick up all kind of people, old, young, black, white, people from other countries, whatever the case may be. And the thing of it is, it starts to put a question mark in your head. You know, when you're thinking about, okay, how the hell did they get here? They can barely speak English, and they got a damn job.
They're living in a nice house.
And we dropping them off. That neighborhood ain't that bad. And then after you get done dropping them off, you get up to the corner, and there's a guy there with a cup, black, white, American, that can't feed themselves.
Well, you know, going back to your request about additional information, Mike.
Comparative information.
Okay, additional, same thing.
It's not.
You know, no other governor from any other state at this particular time is putting immigrants, migrants, whatever you want to call them, on a bus and shipping them to any other part.
I want to see that in black and white. I don't take your word for it. Sorry, and I love you like a play cousin.
That's okay. You don't have to take my word for it.
I'm not.
Because guess what? CNN, New York Times.
I'm not.
You know, well, you gonna let me finish my statement?
You said, guess what? I answered chicken butt. That's what didn't you learn that when you was a kid? Lee, don't you know that, Chris? Don't you know? When somebody said, guess what do you say?
Chicken butt.
Okay.
I'm sorry for interrupting.
Well, now your butt is made out of chicken. Yeah.
Well, guess what? I don't give a damn.
There are no other governors that have taken on this task of spending $12 million sending busloads of migrants.
Put it in black and white. I don't want to.
It is black and white. I'm looking at it.
What is that?
To send
word for word.
Send.
Did it say no other governors?
Migrants.
Did it say no other governors?
Notifying the receiving.
Did it say no other governors?
That these people are.
See, Lee? See what I'm talking about?
They're not. You know, I can tell you what has happened when the people got off the bus here in Chicago.
Was you there?
Okay, which started the conversation. Well, no, my local news was right there to cover it for me. You know, and they are saying that when the people got off the bus, they don't know if they've been fed, clothed. The Salvation Army and Catholic Charities have been dealing with finding these people's needs. I was looking at another report earlier today where they have been lying to these people, saying that we're going to send you to Chicago, and they wind up in New York because they may have family in Chicago that's here to receive them, and then they wind up in New York. You know, so now they got to figure out how to get from New York to Chicago. and there are continuously busloads after busloads of migrants being pushed out of Texas into other places. Now, whoever the other border crossings that have been taking place in Arizona or in California, there's no history of any busloads of people.
You don't have any documentation.
I'm looking
and that's
at
what I'm
I
asking.
can tell you how much he spent of your tax dollars sending these people out of there.
Yeah, but you reading what anybody can print.
I'm reading that Texas has spent more than 12 million.
What's the source?
Spending
What's
busloads.
What's the source?
Of migrants to the East Coast.
What's the
source?
This
is the Texas Tribune.
Okay, I ain't never heard of Texas Tribune.
Well, that's because you ain't
You
been reading
no
the Texas Tribune.
Look, my 5th grade education covers reading.
Okay.
Newspapers.
You need to go on one of your Uber trips to the airport and pick up the Tribune.
Newspapers, Chris, will you confirm that newspapers for the last 50 years are written on a 5th to 6th grade scale for people to read, preferably white folks? Then when most newspapers, when they put stories in, it's printed for someone who's probably only got a 5th or 6th grade education, preferably white.
And I'm sure that this information came out by somebody that is running against him down there in the great state of Texas.
Could
and
be.
they want all of you voting recipients in Texas to know that he has spent to this day $12 million.
I think Governor Abbott is proud of what he's done. That's why he's doing
it. He's definitely proud of what he's done.
He's doing it intentionally. It wasn't no accident.
Well, and once again, like I said, my whole thing is all of them need to be called out. This isn't about defending Governor Abbott.
Nobody else to call out.
That's not true, Ron. That's not true.
Well, then you show me who else need to be called out.
You need to show us.
I'm telling you, there is none. So prove me wrong.
You're not a credible source.
Prove me
you
wrong
ain't doing
by
just
telling
reading.
me how many people that the governor of Arizona sent. You got proof otherwise?
I got proof.
Prove me wrong.
I got proof that most of the time when you in the newsstand reading from a newspaper, it's in between the covers of a Playboy magazine.
That ain't got nothing to do with the $12 million that your governor spent.
All right, Mike, you go to the corner now.
Had to throw him off with that one right quick.
That was a good close.
Yeah.
Okay, but seriously, guys, seriously. I mean, we try to have moments of entertainment, but seriously, my only question is, Ron, and I appreciate what you're saying, but the thing of it is, what I want to see is what the governor of California is doing. I want to see what the governor of Florida is doing, and not in defense of Governor Abbott, but I think of humanity if we really want to get serious about what's going on with people, not only in the world, but in not only in the country, but the world at large, because we have this exchange of people coming in and out of countries, and it's happened for years. And I don't remember if it was Leah Ron talking about people get places and they don't leave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they go to a lot of countries.
They don't honor that 3-month or 6-month visa.
It's called the Underground Railroad.
Yeah, they don't go back home.
Yeah, they don't go back home.
Yeah,
it's the Underground Railroad.
Well, and once they're here for a while, they try to find an American to get married to, so they don't have to leave.
And then we even have some businesses that will go ahead and hire them, knowing that they can't classify them because they haven't taken the Constitution and they're not U.S. citizens, so they pay them cash.
Yeah, because they can't fill out 99.
Guilt. See, Ron, my thing is this: you and I love each other. You my dog. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of this is we're staging, folks, because we're trying to keep you entertained. But at the end of the day, we're trying to call out people. Street News Now wants to not just be a newspaper article, we want to say what people don't get a chance to say. That's why we ask you to comment. Go to Facebook, go to our social media places and put your comments in. Because we got to make sure that when someone uses the news, all of us are part of the radio industry and what news is all about. And we take this dead ass serious. So, like Ron said, I think he hit the nail on the head. If these are his enemies that want to go after him and expose him, then there ain't nothing I can do about it. But the truth shall set you free.
Well, you know, I got to agree with what Jed said now. He makes a comment all the time. You know, after you said, I all I want to do is go find out what's in the current edition of Playboy. You know, he said Miss September is rocking.
All I want to do is go boom, 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 and shake it up.
So you don't think Jed ain't listening? Jed is listening.
Well, Jed, see, we got Jed right where we want him because, see, Jed, the thing of it is, we want you to take us serious, but at the same time, we know you could go look at CNN or Fox or MSNBC if you really want to get serious. I think it was either Professor Ron was saying, this is the barbershop. That's what this is. This is the barbershop. You come in and everybody has an opinion because opinions are like what, fellas? Assholes. No disrespect, and everybody has one. And it's okay. But Lee put this group together for us to sit around and have these conversations outside of the barbershops and the beauty salons.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And the other places of interest.
Well, that being said,
tell you about the time.
Look, and that being said, I'm gonna do a quick plug. Please join me on AskDrRon.com.
And that's spelled ASK, not ASS.
And check out all of my show times, all of my broadcasts that I do. I do 4 broadcasts a week, including this one. So come check me out each and every day. I'm somewhere, you know, letting you all know what's going on. And that being said, I'm throwing it back to Mr. Bass.
And that'll be $1, please. $1 for the plug.
Put it on my tab. I'll pay you on Thursday.
All right. Okay.
Ooh,
Come check me out.
Had to bleep his own self. That's deep.
And I recognize that Professor gave me the drum roll and not the beep. Lee, you were slow with that. Thanks, Professor.
Oh man, so you know, Lee, you was talking about tennis and watching these great tennis matches at the U.S. Open. Before I get into the topic, look out for Francis Tiafoe. He's next up. This dude is next on The Price is Right as far as man tennis is concerned. It's like interesting. Exit Serena Williams, I believe. Enter Francis Tiafoe. This dude is lights out. So look out for him.
From Baltimore, Maryland.
Oh yeah.
So and they giving him the Arthur Ashe nod already, right?
That's right.
You're looking that way.
Playing
Family
in the
from
great
Sierra Leone.
Yeah,
Africa.
Playing in the great Arthur Ashe Stadium. So you see how that correlation is going. So you mentioned about that. Serena Williams has come under fire.
What?
Yeah. Well, you know how it is. Come under fire from the tennis legend Margaret Court in a rare interview accused Williams of lacking admiration for her. Court, who is now 80 years old, holds the all-time record for Grand Slam singles titles with 24. That's one more than Williams. Last month, Williams was asked about the potential of matching Court's Grand Slam records before retiring. Serena replied, "I've already broken the record," seeming not to acknowledge Court's larger number of titles. Now, Court, to her credit, won 13 of her 24 titles before the U.S. Open era began in 1968. So this is what Margaret Court said in the interview. "Serena, I've admired her as a player, but I don't think she has ever admired me. So what?"
Well, technically speaking,
I never.
She didn't win 24 in the U.S. Open. Correct.
Yeah, but right,
Technically.
but the point is, I'm a casual tennis fan. I never heard of her, and I reach out to people who play tennis, never even heard of this woman at all.
No.
So I'll get into the whole thing, but it seems as though when it comes to us, there's always backlash, or dare I say blacklash, from other people who just cannot respect the accomplishments that we are doing. So, for example, Margaret Court is a pastor in Australia and has previously spoken out against same-sex marriage and called the transgender children the work of the devil. No wonder you're not invited to parties. Nobody's not going to put you on a list to bring you into a party if you're already denouncing everybody around you. Now, don't get me wrong. If you are a person that subscribes to a religious theology, nothing wrong with that. But there are people who are fanatics. There's fanaticism in all walks of life, personal professionalism. And you find people who read the Bible, who believe in the Bible, and then send you to hell before they go to hell.
Mm-hmm.
To be first with their fire and brimstone, you're going to hell. You shouldn't be doing that. And they're the most one out there doing the most dirt. They're the most one out there got the most bones in the closet, and they got their own they got their mouths wide open to tell somebody going to hell have no reason and have no anything to tell somebody what to do.
Wait, let me jump in here for a second.
Sure.
So, how many U.S. Open Grand Slams did she win? What's her name?
Her name is Margaret Court.
Margaret Court. How many U.S. Open Grand Slams did she win?
24.
U.S. Open.
24 titles. Grand Slam singles, yes, titles.
Okay, you gave me another number that was like 13. And
yeah, she won 13 before the 24. So she won 13 right before. This will be even before the U.S. Open era actually began.
Well, that's the point.
There
So she didn't win 24 under the U.S. Open banner.
But you're right, 13 before they started.
Okay,
U.S. Open in 1968.
So total between the before and the after was 24.
Right.
Okay. So she did not have more U.S. Open Grand Slams than Serena.
No, but she obviously broke the record.
Wait a minute, hold on, Chris. That was
no. I didn't stutter. I'm look. Don't come after me. I just report the shit.
But I'm trying to get clarity. I'm not
me too.
I'm not on Lee's side. I'm saying, are you out of the 13? The 13 were not sanctioned U.S.
Okay, let me again read what the article says.
Okay.
Margaret Court won 13 of her 24 titles before the Open era began in 1968.
There you go.
So she only has 11 U.S. Opens under her belt. How many U.S. Opens has Serena won?
23.
So, okay, so she's only got 11. Serena's got 23. Why is she talking?
Because she's trying to combine the before and after.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, you jumped ahead of me, but there you go.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, and I apologize for that.
No, you're good. No, you'll get it.
Before it was called the U.S. Open, she won 13.
Yeah, thank you.
And 11 after it became.
Right.
So Serena can say, I have 23 more than anybody else have Grand Slams under the U.S. Open banner.
Yes, sanctioned by that committee.
Right.
Exactly.
Since the existence of the U.S.
Nothing else to be said. Sanctioned by that committee.
Right.
But again,
so Margaret, I understand, and listen, I never heard of you either.
No.
We love your accomplishments, but you mixing apples and oranges.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's my point of contention of all of this. It's amazing, again, when we as people of color say do something in sports, and all of a sudden it's questioned, something's wrong, or I'm compared to. Nothing wrong with that. But what happens is it's automatic. Like, for example, when both the Williams sisters got into professional, one of the main gripes that a lot of people complained about was opponents. I can't concentrate because their beads and braids are getting in the way because they're all loud and I can't concentrate on my game. No, I'm serious. No, this was serious.
I remember that. Yeah.
I remember that crap. And then there's another one. They yell too much when they return to serve. All these players yell. Men and women. When
hers is pretty, Serena's is pretty intense because she's like,
Hey, if it's too hot, got the damn kitchen. They're just getting beat, and they're trying to find these excuses to put them down. Yeah. So all these things that other people were doing before them, all of a sudden, is to be questioned. So remember, for example, Serena had on that black cat suit that she wore to one of the matches. They were saying you couldn't wear that. Ooh. But back in the 80s, there was a white female tennis player who wore a white cat suit, and nobody said anything about that during Wimbledon.
Mm-hmm. So every what time, her body look like?
I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to get into comparisons. We all know who.
Wait a minute, you're not going to get into the cat suit, or you're not going to get into the conversation?
Oh man, man, oh man. Go ahead, I'm listening.
I am too.
Getting now. That's one of the things that you're not supposed to say. Getting into the cat suit. Oh man, that was cold.
Well, what you don't think
that Tiger Woods? For example.
Nice transition.
Yes, thank you. I try.
He did. He jumped.
Tiger Woods, when he was playing, pretty much had changed the game getting into golf. The numbers, television went up, the brand went up. We never seen anything like Tiger before and ever since. So, yeah, people saying, well, look, we got to start changing the golf courses and making them wider, making them more difficult because here comes this one man once again changing the game. Lou Alcindor, as we all know, was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar back in the day. Dominant force to ever play the game going into when he was playing for UCLA. The NC2A banned the slam dunk because of Lou Alcindor. And again, who put the crickets on?
It wasn't me because I know
who put the crickets on. Now, see, we get ready to fight.
Yeah, no,
not me.
I did the wrong one.
Me. Okay, I was getting ready to say because I'm trying to do something that's worth something here, and I'm getting crickets in it. I don't like that.
It wasn't me.
That was the wrong button.
Okay, ooh-wee. Because I can leave. I have no problem leaving, Doc. It's not a problem. You know what I'm saying? Crazy now. Ooh-wee. So I was saying that we talking about this is entertainment. I don't know if it's called entertainment or not. Again, Lou Alcindor, who is a dominant force, had the handcuffs put on him not to dunk. When he was at UCLA back in once again 1967, it wasn't lifted until 1976. But during that time, if you think about it, that was really the birth of the sky hook.
Yeah.
So he couldn't dunk, but the sky hook was invented to start off and probably one of the most unstoppable moves in sports history.
Hey, Chris.
So again, yes, sir.
Real quick, that dunk was, it scared preferably your European friends for sure. That dunk was intense.
Yes.
I mean, it was really one that you didn't. If you ever thought about getting your fingers caught up in there, it was over.
It was lights out. Yeah.
It was lights out.
It was authoritative. It was exclamation point. But again, when black men do it, that's a whole different conversation. So
it was scary. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, but that's what the crowd wanted. That's what we wanted as fans to watch, and we still do right to this day. So my point of all this is to say that with these footnotes of these great athletes who come forward and put their mark into the game, and people who do not even recognize it want to denounce. They want to put the foot in the neck. They want to say you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. So we have to be ourselves. We're expressive people. We express ourselves to what we do. And this is sports is no different. So when you look at what's going on in sports today, look at the people who have paved the way just so you're able to be yourself.
Absolutely.
Love a lot of records have been out there, right? And our people then broke all the records, right? Mm-hmm. And they trying to hold on to something. They got one thing, right? They got one thing that they're hanging on, and they want more. And you can't blame them, man. The only thing they got is Marciano. 49-0, right?
Yeah.
Anybody get close to that, something happened to them, you know. It's like they're trying to preserve the one thing, right? So everything that we've gotten into, our athletes have gotten into, you know, it's been shattered. We shattered all of them. We shattered all of them, man. And Serena, it's like an old person just saying something out of place, and you just gotta just look at, okay, you're 80 years old, you said that, okay, and let that go. And cause Serena is the greatest. Let's forget it.
Yeah.
Just forget it. She the greatest. You know, she the
And,
greatest.
What do you think is next for her?
I think
well,
she's
she's
going
got
to
all
college.
kind of off the court endeavors going on. She's got a fashion thing going on. She's got some things going on in conjunction with her daughter. So she's marketed herself very gracefully and moving as a transition from on the court to off the court. But I want to throw this in. I did watch some of the the last match that she didn't win. On her way out the door, 117-mile-an-hour serve. On your way out the door, she's blasting her opponent was doing like less than 100. This woman
she's hit
was
130
100 plus mile-an-hour serve.
She's a strong girl.
Yeah, and that's in your final match. On my way out the door, take this with you.
Just think about if she caught you messing around and you was her man and she slapped the shit out you.
I would take it.
Me too.
No, you'd be taken.
I'm gonna take it.
Chris,
you'd be
taken.
The only one not taking it. I got my hand up. I'll take that.
Yeah, I'll say meet me in the dungeon, baby, because we're gonna get it all.
Look, with all the money she got, I'm gonna take that and some. Okay, hey baby, what we doing tomorrow night?
Yeah, that's a thing, man. Serena.
Yeah. No, she's powerful. She's powerful even to this day.
Yeah.
She didn't, you know how in the sport of boxing, we saw with Muhammad Ali, we saw it in several other boxers that, they had ended gracefully and then they decided they want to get back in the ring again for one more time. And I remember watching Larry Holmes going easy on I think it was Muhammad Ali. He was just like, will you please stop this fight? Because he ain't got no business being in this ring with me in my prime. And Muhammad Ali was like, well, hey, nobody's ever done it 4 times, so let me try.
Or 5 times.
Yeah, something like that. So, but he couldn't do it. And Sugar Ray did the same thing, So when you look at an accomplished champion, okay, and they have achieved a level of greatness in their sport, and then they should just walk away gracefully without trying to, top
Ego
what they
won't
have
let them
done.
do it. Ego won't let them do it. They have to be checked by Father Time. That's just that simple. Ego won't let them do it. It's Father Time. That's been like, I think the only one that didn't do that was JB.
As in Jim Brown.
Jim Brown went out at the top of his game.
Yeah.
And he and age didn't get him. JB quit.
Yeah, because he went into Hollywood.
I was getting ready to say Pam Grier got him.
He went into Hollywood. But
JB did 9 years and ran stronger than anybody in 9 years.
Absolutely.
You got to know when to fold, when
right. But when you look at what Serena did last week, there was no sign of weakness in what she was doing. She just, she just didn't win her match.
Yeah.
And she was fully capable of winning that match.
Father
That young
Time
lady,
is undefeated. Father Time is undefeated, and
that young lady that she played against in her final interview after she had won. She said, "I just thought Serena was going to beat me. I didn't think nothing else other than that." You know, she went in knowing that this was a very strong tennis player that was fully capable of beating her.
Yeah.
And that's
When
respect.
you're number one, you got to expect
Yeah.
a butt whipping. It ain't going to be easy. But as I said earlier in the show, all of the top ranked, players, even that the guy, I think he's from Australia, he has this weird thing. He goes, before every serve. I mean, he's like got this whole weird ritual, touches both ears and wipes his cheeks, and he's got a whole thing. It's like weird. But he lost. And everybody said, well, no, he's going to win. But he didn't get it. And then what's the guy's name that didn't want to take the virus shots? So he was eliminated. But anyway, I just
the one that went to Australia and they kicked him out of the country. They kicked him out of the country because he didn't want to,
I like that analogy that you used about Ali and Holmes. I like that. That made Mike Tyson mad, and he got Holmes. He got Holmes for Ali, boy.
Don't worry, champ. I got him.
Tyson was in there crying. He was in there crying. Man, you did that to Muhammad. Wham! You did that to Muhammad. Wham! Wham! He knocked him flat on his face.
Sure did.
Yeah, he was out.
Yeah.
He told Ali, he said, "Don't worry, I'm gonna get him for you."
Yeah.
He did.
Sure did.
Even now, to this day, okay, Mike Tyson trains like he looking for somebody to knock out in the ring.
Well, he is. I mean, that's the thug side.
Every day. And he's up there in age now, but he's like, man, he trains so hard. He did that exhibition bout with was it Mayweather? Was that a couple of years ago they did that?
when they were doing that.
But that wasn't a real fight.
Yeah, but that boy was fully capable of handling his business,
Shit, I wouldn't get in the ring with him with a 40
Wait a minute. Wasn't that Roy Jones?
Was it
Roy
Jones?
Jones? Roy
Yeah.
Jones. Yeah. And they were talking about Mike Tyson and Evander going at it again one more time.
It's over.
I don't know about.
You only got 2 ears, man.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to see
knock
that
the other one off, right?
Yeah, and I think Evander might be a little bit more. He might be a little bit more drunk than Mike.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, Judge said what? He messed that one guy on the on the plane up real good a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean that's like dealing with a keg of dynamite. But I want to go back and just kind of say thank you, Professor and Dr. Ron, on the perspective that you put on this whole thing when time is up. And when you think about LeBron James and Serena Williams, they're both at the same place, literally at the same time in their careers. They're champions. You can't take anything away from them. But like you said, Professor, Father Times is standing at the door saying, are you ready? The thing of it is, it's not that they can't pull it off. Their minds and their heads are not there.
You think they lost the fire?
Well, the competitiveness. See, once you're at a level that you're already the champion, you've achieved what you trained your entire life for. So it's nothing to go after. It's almost like a job you don't want anymore, but you won't retire.
Yeah.
But you can't. That's all that is.
It's gotta be.
I don't want to stand on the throne forever.
The Temptations, they said it was just my imagination running away with me.
Yeah.
But
Chris, I mean, what do you feel is ego?
It has to be ego, because ego driven you from day one. Ego is the one that got you where you are. I had a great conversation years ago with former U.S. skating champion Debbie Thomas,
Ooh.
And so I met her here in Chicago, and we got a chance. Her people and my wife and I, we met, and we closed the bar down. And before that happened, I said, "When did you know that you had to retire?" She said she was practicing. My mind wanted to go left, but my body went right. And I said, "That's the great analogy, because again, it doesn't. When my father time, when it's your time, it's father time sending you all these signals.
Yeah.
But do you listen? Do you heed the call? That's what you knew to put the skates up.
I mean, LeBron just, what was it? What did he get? Just 97 million for 2 years or something?
Right, for the Lakers, right.
I mean, why? And he's saying because he wants to play with his son.
Yeah.
Okay, and everybody's going to be admirable with that. Okay, but once again, it's time. Same thing with Serena. Nobody expected Serena Williams to lose. It was unexpected, Professor.
I mean, because we're gonna go along with the law, but here we're gonna go along with that, with that marquee, or with the invincibility. But look, you got to forget, man, these youngins, they hungry. What does Satchel Paige say? What does Satchel Paige say? He don't look back because he knows somebody coming.
Yeah.
He knows somebody coming. And you can't stay. Listen, when you get on the top, there's only one place you can go.
Down.
To the
The only place you can go. And so you get a chance to choose. JB walked out on top. Then a lot of times, many of us overstay our welcome. You understand? We overstay our welcome. Ali overstayed his welcome. And it upset Mike to it. So he had to get be revengeful on him. I mean, take vengeance out on Larry Holmes. But we overstay our welcome. That's just happens because of the ego. You still think you have it. But Father Time gonna tell you, hey, and
That's
you
true.
forget about this young person that's coming, that's stronger. The only thing you got on that person, and which Ali proved time and time again, that if you could get inside their head first, then you can beat them. Because when Ali was going down and he had Michael Spinks and Leon Spinks, and Leon was whooping all up on him, Ali got up on him. I got to have it tonight. You understand? It was blowing his mind. So once you can get inside a young person's head, that's the only way you're gonna beat them. But if they close-minded and they want that prize that you got, they gonna get you. You're gonna get got every time.
That's true.
I just Googled LeBron is 37 and Serena's 40. Right? The point you bringing, Professor, is right there. They're right there. One's 37 and one's 40. I mean, they're both standing there.
So you think LeBron is hit that apex?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, listen, you can train him and Tom Brady. They can do all them things but all they doing is setting up a younger cat to follow up what they doing and doing the same thing. They gonna see themselves coming at them again. They gonna see it because these young, you got this hunger, and
now, what about the other side of that? The team that he plays for, can they afford? Yeah, can they afford to let him go?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'll say
yes.
Is he a free agent now?
No, they just re-signed him. They re-signed him before his contract was up.
Yeah,
so
man.
That means that he has value to the club.
Definitely. That's his name.
That was a marquee signing. They're still trying to get paid off his name.
Yeah, come on, Doctor.
They putting butts in the seats.
That's it.
And see, people, come on now. We all old enough to know how people are. People will come to see you be successful, and they'll come to see you fail.
Yeah.
I hope Serena takes her legacy to wherever she wants to take it, but I think certainly setting up some schools around the country.
Absolutely.
people to play tennis.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'd like to see her get some kind of broadcast career. You know, maybe
that's she wanted.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I
mean,
think she has some other things that were huge, were much more bigger than that.
Okay.
You know, I kind of follow her on social media. I be stalking her. You know, like we be talking to nothing, but I be checking out some of her stuff.
Cat and stuff.
Checking out some of her stuff.
Yeah.
That's
You know,
cool.
she's been designing clothes for a while now.
Oh yeah, I mean, she can do that in addition to some of the other things that I'm thinking might be.
Well, I think her
for as
biggest
well.
point was she wants to be a mother to her child.
Yeah.
She wants to have children. Yeah.
That was the thing that she spoke about the most. Look, now I can go spend some time with my daughter.
And they're saying that she may be pregnant again.
Uh-oh.
She was looking kind of stout there.
Well, she
was on the thicker side. You know, I thought. Yeah.
That was that tight suit she had on.
Is that what it was? But let me just say this, because I got to bail out. But you know, that doesn't mean the show has to go. But whenever y'all see Mike Love coming in looking like a bumblebee, look out! You're getting ready to get stung.
They're about to get stung.
Somebody gonna get stung. Somebody gonna get stung.
Yeah, and before you go, Lee, I think it's only fair that we our brother in broadcasting a happy birthday. He had a birthday on Sunday.
That's
right. We just got to give him a little love, you know, all of us together, because he's always there for everybody else's birthday. So we got to be there for his.
That's right.
Yeah.
Happy belated birthday.
Oh, thank you,
sir.
My brother.
Yes,
sir.
Yes, sir.
How low can you go?
Let's roll. What a brother know. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man. Listen, it was a fun night tonight, as usual. And I want to thank you guys and thank the viewers, listeners for being here tonight. And with that, see you next Thursday. Same time, same station. Street News Now. 6 guys and you. And without you, it's just 6 guys. And that's it. So keep it complete. Come back, tell some friends, subscribe, like, and share. That's all you got to do. It's easy. And come over and join YouTube. And Laura Rice, you know, you still just a stinker. That's what you are. She's been texting me, harassing me on my phone. You ain't gonna see me in no
cat suit, woman. You ain't gonna have it.
Yeah, she's trying to get Chris Bass in a cat suit again. So with that, good night.
No, stop.
He said again.
No, stop. Y'all motherfuckers are doing all right. We was doing all right. He was doing fine till you fucked. You know he don't fucked up, right? You know he don't fucked up, right? Go set me up with a goddamn, knockout punch. All that birthday bullshitting and carrying on, and they ain't gonna say that nasty shit at the end. You gotta be ashamed of yourself.
And he was trying to hit the off button too.
Man, look at that, man. It's too damn late. Boy, that's a damnedest of shame.
Oh, boy.
In fact, I'll just say it for Reggie. I'm gonna go to Reggie. Good night.